Okay, this is driving me crazy. The lid does not line up with the front. Hey everyone, it's Anna and I'm back with another vintage cookbook. This time I'm reviewing the new Karo All-American Cookbook. I couldn't find a publication date in this book. After a couple of eBay searches, it looks like there may be a consensus that it was published in 1965. I'm not positive about that. This cookbook does kind of give me like later 60s vibes, but for now we're just gonna go with 1965. The recipes in this book are made up of submissions from people all over the US, all 50 states. So it's one of those compilation types of cookbooks. As I was reading through the recipes, I wondered if the recipes themselves corresponded to the state. Like, is it a crop or something or a product that comes from this state? I quickly found out that was not the case, as you will see in the recipe that I am cooking today. First off, I want to talk illustrations. There's something so wholesome about the illustrations in this. I wouldn't be surprised if you could order framed prints of these for your home back in the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, they just remind me a lot of some of the things I would see in people's houses growing up. Squash, still life, breadfruit and walnut. I don't know. Someone come up with better names for these pictures than I am. It says that this cookbook had over 40,000 submissions. It's quite a lot. I will say, out of 40,000 submissions, the ones that they selected did not include gelatin molds. Not a single gelatin mold in this book, and I think that tells us something. I don't know. I was very surprised not to see one in here. Some of the states have multiple recipes included with no explanation. Minnesota, for example. Minnesota gets potato piggies as well as frankly favorites. I mean, I guess they're both hot dogs, but there are some other states that seem to include two unrelated recipes. Like Indiana. Indiana has caraway shish kebabs. Indiana also has asparagus meat medley, so those aren't really related in my mind. Maybe they just had so many submissions that they couldn't decide. They do include the state that each recipe came from, but I really wish they would have included the name of the person who submitted the recipe. I mean, like, how exciting would that be for that person? Grandma's pie recipe made it into the Karo cookbook. I mean, I'd still be excited about it now, let's be honest. So I've definitely found a winner for the best recipe title in this book. Okay, are you ready for this? Bow catcher toast. What? Catch yourself a man with some toast? I mean, I like toast, but I've never thought about using it as bait. It does sound really good though. It's kind of like toast with like a maple pecan topping, so I would be into that. I can't say that it would lure me in for a marriage proposal or anything. Okay, so honorable mention on best name, Misty Moisty Orange Cake. Who came up with these names? Like, let me shake your hand, please. Throughout the book, they have these little Karo quick tips, like this one. So this one says, add dark or light corn syrup to any barbecue sauce. Blends flavors and adds a touch of sweetness. So some of these tips are helpful. They're nice, you know, they're things that I would definitely try. There are a couple standouts for me though. So this Karo quick tip says, kids love it. Dark corn syrup poured over vanilla ice cream turns plain ice cream into a dreamy dessert. I guess, but I don't know. Just put some syrup over some ice cream. I guess you use chocolate syrup. I don't know. It just sounds funny to me to put like Karo corn syrup over ice cream. So another Karo quick tip. For an after-school pickup, add dark corn syrup to chilled milk and a scoop of ice cream. Beat until frothy and sprinkle with cinnamon. Okay, like that sounds really good, but I can't imagine having that as an after-school snack. I don't think that would happen. There are a lot of recipes in this book from a lot of different states, but I thought it was only appropriate for me to cook the winning recipe from Ohio. Today, I'm going to be preparing pineapple in gingered sour cream. Okay, very excited about this. I love ginger, I love pineapple. I think it's probably going to taste very good. But as I mentioned earlier, how does that correspond with Ohio? I mean, I don't think it has to, but I just think it's funny that like there's pineapple is kind of like a tropical thing. That's definitely not what Ohio is if you've ever been here. When I think Ohio, I think more like apples and like, I don't know, soybeans. I don't know. Maybe like livestock. I don't know. I grew up in a really rural area and those were just like things that we had, but pineapple, definitely not one of those things. I am looking forward to this though. I think it's gonna taste really good. I like pineapple and cottage cheese and I could see this having a little bit of that vibe. So I'm okay with this one. Let's get started. Pineapple and gingered sour cream. This is a quick one, you guys. This is gonna come together quickly. It doesn't have a lot of ingredients. People do not have time for things in Ohio. We are very busy. Not really. It says 1 pound of pineapple chunks drained. I couldn't find a 1 pound can. Maybe it didn't look very hard, but I had a 1 pound 4 ounce can. So right now that is chilling in the fridge per the recipe. After chilling the pineapple, you're supposed to combine the sour cream, the Karo syrup, and the ginger. So we're gonna do that in this bowl. This bowl kind of matches my outfit, huh? Glad I chose this apron. Okay, so we need 1/2 cup of sour cream because as always, I am cutting this recipe in half. When I saw that crystallized ginger appeared in this recipe, I thought that was kind of an interesting ingredient. I don't know if it was a super common thing in the 60s. It's not that hard to find now, but I'm wondering, was it very easy to find back then? I just got mine at Target. Gotta love curbside pickup. All right, there's our 1/2 cup, well, almost 1/2 cup of sour cream. Dottie is next to me snoring and it's adorable. How do we get anything done in this kitchen? Karo syrup, right here. It's not Karo syrup, don't tell. This is gonna need a little help because it's not coming out. Oh, wow, I measured this like earlier and it kind of became a little bit gel-like on the top. It said you could use either dark or light in this recipe. I just chose the light corn syrup because it's what I had on hand. I don't use a lot of corn syrup, so I didn't want to go out and buy more, but I do like to have it on hand for the occasional candy making, scotcheroo recipe, that kind of thing. I don't think this recipe is going to taste bad. I just don't really know what it's going to be, especially texture-wise, mixing like the sour cream and the Karo syrup. We'll find out soon. Oh wow, I got it on me. Okay, we're just gonna put this hand over here and not use it. I have my 1/2 tablespoon of crystallized ginger like that. I chopped it up a little bit more fine than it was in the jar. It smells awesome. I love ginger. Got my spatula / magic wand and I'm just gonna try to combine this. I'm wondering if maybe I'll need to switch to a whisk. That might not be a bad idea. You know, I'm thinking about it and I feel like I've made a recipe where you combine honey and sour cream and that's not too far off from corn syrup texture-wise. There's definitely a little bit of a clash in textures here. It doesn't want to come together like very cohesively. Is that a word? So I think I am gonna switch to a whisk. Okay, whoa, sorry. This is really how I am when I cook. Don't you want to cook with me? All right, we're gonna see how this goes with a whisk. Already it's a little bit better. This is in the dessert section. Could also see it appearing in maybe a salad section. This is what it looks like right now. So I think what I'm going to do next is grab a little serving dish, pull the pineapple out of the fridge and assemble everything. Have our chilled pineapple, got a beautiful little serving dish, and we're gonna assemble this. So it doesn't really give exact amounts on what to put in each dish. It just says a 1 pound can of pineapple will serve 6 people. I cut the dressing sauce recipe in half. I'll probably end up storing it in the fridge and eating the rest of it later if this turns out okay. So I'm just gonna put a little pineapple in here. That looks good. I think that seems right. Like that. It says pour over pineapple in serving dishes. It doesn't say to mix it together or anything, so I guess this is more like a little bit of a sauce. So we'll just throw some of that on. I do wonder if these ingredients are gonna come together in sort of a cohesive dish. I don't know. Or if they're just gonna taste like each individual component. I feel like I'm putting a lot on here. I should stop. Looks good, looks okay. I'm trying to envision what I would be thinking if I went to a person's house, a relative, maybe my grandma or something, and she gave me this and didn't say what it was. The ginger does kind of look like bacon bits in here just because of like the color and everything. But I like pineapple, so I'd probably give it a shot even if I didn't know what was in here. All right, it's time to give it a taste. That ginger is spicy, but I like it. Let me go in one more time here. So this is pretty tasty. You get a little bit of tanginess from the sour cream. You get some spice from the ginger. And then you also get a little tartness and sweetness from the pineapple. So ultimately, it does taste really good together. It's not something I ever would have thought to combine, but it definitely works. You know, I think I would put more ginger in here. In this half recipe of the sauce, there's only a half a tablespoon of crystallized ginger. I think I would double that just because I really like ginger and you don't really get the taste of it in every bite, but this is really good. You know what else I think would work if you made this? I think if you like put all of this together, the pineapple, the sauce, and then like pureed it and put it in popsicle molds. I don't know why I'm thinking that right now, but for some reason I'm like, that would be amazing. I like this. This is a winner for me. If you really don't like tart dairy things with like sweet fruit, you might not enjoy this, but I really like it. Would I make this again? Solid maybe. Maybe I would make this again. I think if I had all of the ingredients on hand, it might be something that I would make for myself. But I could see this maybe not being the best thing to make for other people if you're not sure if they like these flavors. I think it's a keeper for me. I don't know if it's a keeper for you, but if you'd like to give it a try, I put the recipe in the description. Please let me know if you give it a shot. I cooked a recipe from the new Karo All-American Cookbook. I'm gonna eat another bite. Ooh, that was a real zesty bite. That got me a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like content like this, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.